Why do people read the Niagara Falls Reporter? Well, according to publisher Frank Parlato, it's because they're not afraid to publish the truth.
Hi out there, this is Tony Farina inviting you to read the Niagara Falls Reporter online or in print every week. We're not afraid to tell the truth. We don't pull punches. We give you the best we can about what's going on in this area, whether it be politics, government, budgets, Seneca gaming issues. Whatever we've got, you're going to have. So check us out. Niagara Falls Reporter.
And the Reporter is factual, fun, and it's free. Pick your copy up every week at Tops, DiCamello's, or Tim Hortons, or read it online at NiagaraFallsReporter.com.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing at your local Cub Cadet dealer today.
Stop by your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer, Niagara Lawn and Garden Equipment, today.
The opinions expressed on NiagaraBroadcastNetwork.com are those of the host and the guest, not of management or the sponsor.
This is our encore presentation.
Encore.
That's encore, yeah, it's encore.
More.
Jimmy Szweedo's with us.
We stayed all weekend here.
Yes, all weekend, just so we could bring you this update.
This is an update.
This is, you know what? This is just nuts what's going on here. We were talking about ambulance service in Niagara Falls. We're talking about
Police department.
We're talking about bringing in the $10 million. We have to get politicians to address all these issues. And we're waiting to hear what's coming up from these mayoral candidates, from these council candidates. What do you? I mean, there's loopholes here that have to be addressed.
You know what's out? None of them. After last Friday's show and it, I started thinking about this a little bit more and more. We're not addressing and we're not preparing Niagara Falls. It's not a matter of being someone that's going to poo-poo everybody's ideas.
Right.
We're not addressing the future of the city of Niagara Falls. The future of the city of Niagara Falls means, if we're going to develop, that we're going to need additional services. Okay, it's everybody in the city of Niagara Falls. I cannot tell you any of my neighbors or anyone in our area that really believe that we're getting the services that we pay for as taxpayers in the city of Niagara Falls.
Tell me about it.
Regardless of what anyone says, the quality of life issues are not being dealt with in the city of Niagara Falls.
And that's what these candidates keep saying.
No.
I'm going to take care of the quality of life issues.
No, they're not. You know why they're not going to take care of it? Because that's what they're saying, but they're not doing it, okay? They're not addressing, none of them are going to say a word about the fire department, which I think, regardless of whether if we had an ambulance service, whether it made money or not, that would prepare us for the future in Niagara Falls, okay? Because we're going to need it, because they're the first responders anyways. The fact that
I'm not understanding why an ambulance company can make money, but the city can't make money running an ambulance? It doesn't make sense to me.
Don't forget, when Babe Rotella and everybody, when they got the ambulance contracts and stuff, that's just like when we settled with the money for the Power Authority and stuff like that. The deals are there. If they can make money, we can. The city's not going to go broke, but the city's going to go broke not thinking about the future. Okay, the same thing what they're doing here right now. The future means the city of Niagara Falls, if we're going to have more than 50,000 people in the city of Niagara Falls, needs more police officers.
Right.
Needs more fire response. Needs to address the quality. If we're going to have an aging population, they have to be safe. They can't be locked away in the towers. They have to know they can walk the streets. Okay? The aging police force that we have, just like the aging fire department, is not prepared to do that in 5 or 6 years. The only way that's going to happen...
We don't have an aging police force. We have a lot of young officers.
We do.
Most of the older guys are retiring.
Yes, we need more.
We need more, absolutely.
We need more. What I'm saying right now, while these officers,
We gotta
more
get prepared
experienced
now.
officers and the more experienced officers in our fire department are still here, we need them here now over the period of the next 4 or 5 years to train these people. We can't have an officer that's only got 1.5 years or 2 years on the force coming in and saying, yeah, I'm their training officer. That's bullshit. We need these officers that got 15 and 20 years on the force that know the city, know the streets, know the bullshit that they've had to put up with, and know the people to train these people so we don't have these new officers going in blind.
No, that's true.
You know, and
that's true.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous to think you don't. Just like with the fire department, we need these people to train the new people. Because regardless, if we're going to think of the future of Niagara Falls, $10 million into this project, yes, I'm happy for every dollar that Ange got us, okay? But I was, like I said on Friday, I was hoping that the governor was going to come in and toss in another $50 million. Again, I repeat, $1 billion.
Why did you
10
think
million.
he might?
Because I was a little disappointed with the fact that he fronted that $5 or $6 million to keep us solvent
Right.
without putting some adults inside City Hall to spend the money, okay? Because all that did was buy us a couple of months.
Right.
Now, I knew that Blue Cardinal and the people were working on this project, and Mornell and everybody, to try and get some money for the city of Niagara Falls. So when I heard that he was coming in, I'm sitting there saying, this could be a good thing. You know,
You thought it was going to be more grandiose than it ended up being.
I thought it was going to be much more grandiose than it was coming in. And when you look at the plan, go into Buffalo Paper, go into Gazette, go online and look at the plan. That $10 million is not going to be spent on brick and mortar development. It's going to be spent on studies, traffic studies, changing the way the street ties into the park. What good is tying in Main Street to the park?
More studies.
You know what I mean? It's not there.
More consultants.
So wait a minute, now, that just brings up, we've paid consultants after consultant after
Yes.
consultant.
How many years?
And, right, for
And what we
forever.
got?
A lot.
Forever.
Nothing. We got
A lot.
Who are the consultants?
We got
Maybe
plans.
they got consultants in line that's gonna eat this
And
money.
all we got is plans, you know what I mean? And to the idea of the fact that we're going to protect these buildings for historic protection, that's bullshit, okay? Because that is fine. If you're in Buffalo and you want to, first, Niagara Falls tore down 90% of any historic buildings we ever had. They're already gone. So the few that we have left, that's fine.
So hold on a
Buffalo
second,
had to
I'm
get
confused with this historic building crap, because I've been listening to this, oh, you can't tear down a building, it's gonna be an historic building.
Yes.
Does anybody go around the city and go, wow?
Yeah,
Look
there
at
is.
that, what
There
a
is.
beaut,
There
what an
is.
historic
Yeah,
building. Did
there
they do
is, there
that?
is, yeah, we actually have a
Wow.
few people that go around and try and say.
Really? You had, wait a minute, you had the old girls' club on Niagara Street?
Yes.
Okay, you don't have that anymore, right? Or you
No, I
lost
got
it?
rid-
or-
I sold that to the
Okay,
club.
okay. Was that an historic building?
No, I never left
Was the
the
place
historic.
next to it an historic
They
building,
tried to
that
get
your
a historic
psychic center?
designation, yes, and
Yeah.
then she found out that it would limit anything she did there, so she didn't go for it either, okay? And then Trinity Church got historic designation, and they kept that, which, okay, is a church, but that's basically what.
So do
it's
people
going
come here to go, let's look at Trinity here, come to
but
Niagara
you-
Falls,
you don't
they
have-
got an historic building, let's go see it.
But in
Does
fact-
anybody do that?
No, they don't say, let's save it. They say,
No,
let's
let's
save-
see it.
Let's
see it. Niagara Falls, they got an historic, they got an
Yeah,
historic,
but you know what happens in Buffalo? This is an historic building.
This is
We
not
want it-
Buffalo.
No, this is what I'm saying. That's the difference. In Buffalo, if you have a building and they want to designate it historically protected, they also pump you in $25-50 million from Buffalo or from the Buffalo Billion or for something. Yeah, this is good. We want to keep this, operate it like this. We'll allow this, okay? Don't forget even the headache that the Giacomo had. Remember, they were arguing
yes,
over
the windows, the
They were arguing
windows.
over you can't change the floor,
Yes,
you can't do
yes.
this, and that was like an act of God. Okay, look, if you're going to do that, you can keep your building. Finally, he fought it out, and he ended up getting to get the building done.
But why did he have to go through
Right.
that?
Now, the buildings we're talking about on Main Street, like I said, out of the 29, probably there's 9 or 10 that are savable, okay? But to say that this is a huge project, and you got DeSantis in the paper saying what a project that this is, because this was part of a plan that they developed.
who cares?
Who cares?
That's-
It's bullshit.
yeah,
It's
who cares?
bullshit. All they're doing is smoke and mirrors. Now, had the governor come in and said, well, look, I'm gonna kick in an additional 50, here's seed money. What I'm gonna do is to
Here's for
entice
your planning.
developers here, we're gonna kick an extra 50 or $100 million in matching grant money to developers. Now, all of a sudden, you got attention, because we all know, even if it's a halfway decent sized hotel, even the ones we're seeing built on the boulevard and stuff, it's still gonna cost 25 million, okay? Well, now all of a sudden that hotel that the guy wants to build by the train station, which, oh God, who knows why, but either way, if you were getting a $10 million grant and you had to put 10 million, you might think about it, okay? The best thing that they need to do is this plan is outdated. It's 20 years old that they're going by. Blue Cardinal took a plan.
Is this the city's so-called master plan?
Yes, to a certain extent, yes. They had a master
Did
plan
Bobby
for Main Street.
Rustino revamp that, or did not? Wasn't he
No,
doing
they
work
looked
on
it
that for a
over
while?
and stuff.
So
But
maybe there's some new stuff in there that we
no,
don't know
there-
about.
No, what's new about taking Division and taking the next street over Lincoln Place and just tying it into what's going to be parkland? So what? A guy comes here for the summer at the park, drives down the road, and decides to go there. What? Gets dumped off on Main Street or 11th Street or 10th Street? Okay. And the last time, believe me, when the old man had all the properties, he decided that maybe NU housing, he had a little bit of juice with NU, and he was hoping to develop NU housing.
I remember
It never
that.
came to fruition. He tried. As a matter of fact, one time he had about 15 or 16. He took two of the buildings, and he had like two nice student setups, and there was about 16 or 20 students. That lasted about a year and a half. He had more problems with the NU students in those two buildings than he did with the people he was renting to.
Well, when you have young kids and they're
Yes.
at college and they're
Right.
drinking and they're having parties
and
they're
again, look at the problems in Buffalo with UB and Buff State, and they, like I said, have a huge police force to help them out. Remember
They have their
Trump-
own police force.
Yeah, their own
Yeah,
police force.
right.
And yet everybody in the neighborhood is complaining because they wake up on Saturday morning or Sunday to get the
Wait a
newspaper
minute.
and there's four
Maybe
trucks.
that's what we need is another police force downtown. And,
second one?
Maybe we do.
The Rangers. Let's bring the Rangers back. There you go.
No, wait a minute. I know. Get a retired lieutenant to be the chief.
Here we-
Yeah,
oh
that's,
my God.
That's it.
Stop it.
That's what I think we need.
What, chief of the retired?
When you're looking for a home appliance repairman, what do you look for? Well, in most cases, you look for someone who can do the job honestly and do it correctly the first time. Then you look for someone who's reasonable, someone who's going to give you a fair price for the work he does. Well, I got one that's even better than that. He'll give you the best price you're going to ever hear. His name is Chris Moore, and his service call is $35. Got a problem with the stove, refrigerator, freezer, washer, dryer, hey, you name it. If it's a home appliance, Chris can fix it, and he does it for a $35 service call, plus the cost of the parts and installation. Now, I don't know of any other repairman who's had as much experience, over 30 years, as Chris Moore, who will come to your home for a $35 service call. You know, once you have Chris at your house, you're going to want him back again and again and again, and you're going to recommend him to all your friends and relatives. So you want to have that phone number handy. So what do? Well, let's update. Let's not put it on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere where it's going to get lost or fall off, dry up, and disappear. Put it in your cell phone where you know you can find it when you need it, because you know someday you will need Chris Moore's number. It's 523-5911. Chris Moore's Appliance Repair. $35 service call plus the cost of the parts and installation. 523-5911. Put that in your cell phone right now. Okay, we're back, and we're talking about
Yeah.
the revitalization of Niagara Falls and the
And-
$10 million bucks coming in.
10
And
million's.
It sounds like a lot, but it's not.
It's no money.
Not nowadays,
no money.
it's
You know
not.
what? All that does is to get us 2 or 3 years of studies.
I don't want any more
understand,
studies,
and
for
that's
heaven's
what it is.
sakes. That's
It's
such
gonna-
inactivity.
that's
It's inertia.
inactivity.
Stop it
Okay,
with the
that's it.
studies.
And then when we were talking about the
Jesus.
event center, when Joe was making such a big deal, they're gonna put an event center in, and he mentioned the building, and I'm sitting there saying, I know, what, 3,500? That's Frankie's Donuts has 3,500.
The way you
My
get a
flea market
pension.
is
No,
6,000.
you know, the politicians got it right. We're the stupid ones.
Yeah.
They just keep pushing projects off while they get all their time put in. So at the end of it all, they get a nice pension.
Right. That's
Are
it.
we stupid?
It's-
We're not stupid, for
and do
heaven's
not-
sakes.
do
That's
not
how they
even
do
in
it.
any way, shape, or form, like I
Oh,
told him
my
on
God.
Friday,
Don't
was that-
build anything. We
do
gotta
not
study
think-
it to death.
Yeah, do not think Deister will be gone. Okay,
Jeez,
because there's going to be
criminy.
something there in gratitude. Even though everybody's saying he's just waiting for him to get out, he'll be there somewhere. Whether it be something to do with this downtown area here that we're actually
And
broadcasting.
I don't begrudge him. If he gets a job, he gets a job.
happy.
Fine.
I'm happy.
No, but here's the difference. We were looking the other day at our casino has put $40 million into it and
Yes.
expanded. And when they say they're going to get something done, they get it done. They don't talk for 5 years about
Right,
it.
it gets finished.
They say, here's the money. This is what it's going to look like. We're going to get it done.
put it
And
out
bing,
for
bang,
bids,
boom, it gets
boom,
done.
it goes.
Look, and I'm going to just say to you, I'm happy we got the $10 million bucks. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Ange Moore. But
Yes.
let's address all the other projects along, and somebody coming in
Yeah.
has to start saying no to no tax deals.
No.
That doesn't help us at all.
It doesn't help us. Turning all that land along Whirlpool when we tear it out into parkland
No.
does not help us.
No.
That is the most developable land
Right.
we have.
Right.
We have no land in the upper river because it's all chemically contaminated. They can kiss my ass if they think they're ever going to develop any of that land along Buffalo Avenue between the Parkway and that. They can't.
Right.
Regardless of what they say, it'll never happen in any of our lifetimes.
Put hotels, bars, restaurants, attractions.
Can't you
all
see
along
that?
the way.
Waterfront? I mean,
Sal,
come on.
Think about it. The Parkway goes, okay? You got 90 feet of road going out there leading to that best view in the world. I mean,
Right.
these people would give anything to be staying in a
Right.
hotel up 15, 20 stories.
And think of the money you could charge for those rooms.
Right, but we're not. We're going to turn it into a parkway because you know what's
Ridiculous.
going to happen there? It's going to be parkland and people can walk there and do this
Bullshit.
and that. And then
Wait.
we're going to say that no development is going to happen even
disgusting.
on Whirlpool
It's
because of
disgusting.
the height restrictions.
It's disgusting. Well, that has to be
Bullshit.
changed
You know
too.
what I mean? What's
They're
the,
developing all that, and so how does that help the city? What is that supposed to do?
it does
To
Nothing.
make it parkland, how does that help?
nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. We get nothing.
Zippity-doo-dah.
We get the same thing we get from this park down here, Stugatz. We get that.
So why do they make it? Whoa, the governor's making this. We're getting $10 million. It's like flushing
pittance
$10
now.
million down the
Did you
drain.
ever think we'd come to that time where when someone says 10 million, you go, eh? But that's it.
No,
Eh.
it does nothing. It does nothing. But the 10 million could be utilized. Well, think about it. Before the casino money, when we heard we were getting that casino money, we're going to get 16 to 20 million dollars a year. Man, the streets are going to be paved with gold. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
20 years
Yeah,
later,
where'd
the
it all
contract's
go?
up. What do we got? We're 10 more feet
Where'd it
below
go?
ground.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what?
because we don't think for the future here.
We do not think for the future.
Okay.
And I'm not saying anything about
But
the
we
candidates.
have a new government coming.
They're not thinking about the future.
But we have a new
I understand.
government coming.
I understand that, but they're not thinking for the future. Okay, they're thinking not.
How long of a honeymoon are you going to give the newest mayor, whoever that may be?
None. Okay, the reason you give him the reason you give him none.
That's it?
First
None?
off, if it is Rustino, he's been prepared for this office for 30 years because he knows
Okay,
every
so he
nook
should
and
hit the
cranny
ground
in
running.
the city of Niagara Falls.
Okay.
If it's Glenn Shalokin, he knows where all the problems are because he worked in city government as an employee, as a councilman.
So they
both
should
know.
come in, either one of them should come in and start kicking ass.
So you
Right.
want to hear from the beginning,
Whatever.
Project A,
I know, you know
Project
what?
B,
And I
Project
don't-
C.
Mind you, look, I'd love to see every street in the city of Niagara Falls paved, and I'd love to see, I know.
That's
more
lovely, but I
about-
wanna
wait
see
a minute.
development.
I know more about new paving machinery than any of the candidates we have running and stuff like that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
great. We're going to get this new machine. It goes in this way and it comes out that way, and the streets get paved with gold. And we can afford it because, what did Glenn say? We can afford it because of the amount of money we're going to save, okay? But he's not addressing the problems. The idea that, yes, I'd like to see the potholes, but that's not the problem. The problem is the little old lady that lives in a tower has to order her coffee from Frankie's because she's afraid to walk across the street because
Well,
she's going to get...
he said he's going to address all that. He gave you one of 10
Right, that was the
projects.
first thing.
He called me the other day, said he wants to come back in a couple of weeks and present number 2.
Okay.
And he told me there was 3 things on that number 2 that he's going to address.
Okay.
So I mean, let's not put
I'm not
let's
saying
not
it's
put the
football, but
let's
how about somebody that Rustino
before we
came
say
on the
look
show?
at before we say
I'm not.
no
I
to
like
Glenn or Bobby or
I'm not. I
anybody.
just wanna
Let's
give them
hear
a few little
everything they
ideas.
got to say.
How about this little idea we talked about here? We take $1 million of this money that we're going to piss away on people coming here to tell us we don't need a traffic circle on Main Street, and we put 10 new officers on.
I love that idea.
I don't think
I
they're
love
allowed
that.
to use that money
I
for
love
that,
We're allowed
though.
to use the casino money.
I'm
for
just
that.
telling you. I'm just telling you. That's
Wait,
the
okay,
answer
wait.
you'll get.
No. Here's the answer I get. Then keep the 10 million that we can't use, that have to be used for infrastructure, and take that $2 million that the city's kicking in, which we don't have, and put it into the police force by putting 10 new officers on.
Oh,
that money
I
we can
hear
do what
you.
we want. We've used that money for everything we wanted. Hard Rock Hotel.
Look, I look at
we
it
need
this
for
way.
everything.
Bottom line,
Drunken Pizza Fest, little sheds we threw out, little sheds that we sold
yeah.
for $12 after we paid $12,000 a piece.
Seriously.
Give me a break. We used that. We pissed away
Well,
that
we did.
money.
You know
But
these
here's-
a signed guitar.
You know these little sheds they get around our building
Yes.
here?
How much?
They're beautiful.
No, these are nice ones.
Nice ones.
They get sided,
Yeah.
they get electric, they get
Yeah.
everything.
How much?
About 5,000 to 8,000, I
So
guess.
half the
each.
half or
Half
a
the
third.
price.
But here's the thing: if the city
We
of
need
Buffalo,
those sheds. They all fell
look,
apart.
if the city of Buffalo could transform itself,
Yes.
and that truly was an armpit of the Northeast,
Yes.
then this should be a piece of cake,
This
Niagara
is,
Falls.
Wait, and this is what
It should be.
bothers me. Had the governor came into town and just simply said, okay, he could have been a hero. What do you think? Hey, I'm the guy that turned around Niagara Falls, that for 40 or 45 years of
Yes.
asshole government, I turned it around. in
Why
3
doesn't he
years.
want to be that guy?
I don't know.
Because you would think if he has any aspirations ever to be the president, as some say,
No, and you know
don't
what?
want on your resume that you let the city of Niagara
Joe's
Falls
right.
go in
These
the
people
toilet.
don't build. The people that bought Main Street,
They don't build.
They
No, they're
don't
not.
build.
Well,
They
just
couldn't
like
build that
NFR.
coffee pot.
NFR doesn't build.
no, but NFR has the money. Here's the difference. NFR doesn't build, but if there's a project and NFR and you want it done and somebody says, hey, I'd like a
You're tight with NFR. How come they're not
Nada.
saying we're going to build this or we're going to
Yeah,
put
nada.
this? Why don't they do that?
Because-
What do they just want someone
Because
else to
why?
buy the property and do
Because
it?
of the city government and the obstruction that they've done to him since 1996. I've known Roger for a long time. When he came here in 1996, he told me that it would take him about 6 months to straighten out Niagara Falls. I talked to him as recent as a few weeks ago. and stuff like-
1996?
96. He says 20 years
23
later.
years ago.
He goes, 20 years later, Jim, I'm still shaking my head.
So what
I
about
was there.
so what about we get a new government, we get a new mayor, we get a new
Are they
maybe
gonna
a
do
new
something?
couple councilmen, whatever? Could that all change? Could Roger
can.
go?
It can.
All right, now here's what we're going to do.
But the attitude of the people coming in has got to be for the future of Niagara Falls. Not for their pensions, not for their futures, not for where they're going to pad their thing or put it on their
Right,
resume.
right.
Okay, it has to be for the, none of these politicians have been, in the last 30 years, have been thinking about the future of Niagara Falls. Because if they would, we would be in
now you're gonna
100
be,
times better.
ooh.
And I'm going back, and I don't care. I'm just telling
Vince
you how
just
it is.
shook in
It's
his
bullshit.
dining room
And Vince-
chair and doesn't know
Right.
why.
And I like Vince,
What?
but I'm telling you, and Vince will tell you about all the money, but Vince won't tell you about the fact of what the cost him. He did have that money in the bank.
Vince supposedly, I don't know this for a fact, Vince supposedly told somebody that we don't ask the hard I don't know. We don't ask the hard questions on this show, and that's why politicians won't go on his show, because he does.
No, it's full of shit.
I think
was
he's
on
got
his show.
that backwards.
His show's like a softball.
Got
I
that
was on his show
backwards.
twice, and I mean, come on.
got that backwards.
I charmed a little old lady
And
from
we-
Rockport.
you know
She didn't
what?
even vote for
Yeah.
me, but she loved me.
You know what? The people that watch our show know that that's backwards.
Do you know what?
So.
These people aren't thinking about. Let's talk about the future, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let Glenn come on here, and I'd be more happy. Glenn, your number 2 thing, come on here, okay? You talked
Yeah,
about the road.
yeah.
Next time you come in, I'm going to revamp the police department for the future of Niagara Falls. I know quality of life is a very big issue in all of voters' minds in the city of Niagara Falls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to propose taking that $1 million, training 10 new officers for the city of Niagara Falls, getting them out on the street.
Well,
to increase-
maybe he's going to do that,
I'm
and
offering that
maybe
suggestion.
and maybe
He's
Bobby's
offering
going to do that
free
too.
information. He's offering it.
Look
He's offering it.
I'm not going to rape the police department. I'm not going to complain. What I'm going to do with the police and the fire is I'm going to give them additional help because they're overtaxed and they don't need. I don't want all this overtime. The overtime's killing us. So here, instead of the fact I'm going to get a new paving machine and it's going to pay for itself, I'm going to get 10 new officers, and they're going to pay for themselves by cutting the overtime and making the streets of Niagara Falls safer. What is that? That's the simplest thing. Look, I'm a third-grade idiot, and I can tell you that.
And he
that's
wanted to
bullshit.
be mayor?
You know what? It's bullshit. Let's talk about the things that are important to the people in the city of Niagara Falls. Important is the fact that I want to walk down Pine Avenue without getting mugged. I want to be able to go to the Como after 7 o'clock at night and not have to have an armed guard. I want to walk down 19th Street after that guy put all the money in that bar when he redid the whole bar over there. I want to walk and not have to have a guy with a pistol on his hip take me to my car. I want the quality of life issues
right.
dealt with in
You're
the
right.
city of Niagara Falls, not the bullshit stuff. Don't Don't tell me what you're going to pave new roads. Don't tell me you're going to do a study to fix Main Street. Tell me you're going to make it a safe city, because until the city's safe and the people are not afraid to come out of their houses, we're going nowhere. They're going to continue to move out. And I hear it from my sons all the time. The minute I get a job, I'm moving to North Carolina. The minute I'm doing this, it's worse. And then all we're going to have are retirees that are going to be shut in their houses, afraid to come out, and they're the only ones keeping the lights on in the city, and they cannot afford the tax base.
Listen closely to these symptoms: inflammation, nausea, hot flashes, headaches, joint pain, muscle pain, back pain, trouble sleeping, cramps, irritated skin. You know, this is just a partial list, but if you said you have any of those symptoms, you might benefit from the power of CBD. What is CBD? Well, it's all the good taken out of the hemp plant, the marijuana plant, all the good taken out, but none of the bad. Now, you won't get high from it, you won't fail a drug test, but what you will do is find relief from these and many more symptoms. And it comes in a variety of applications. Well, there's oils, there's gummies, there's candies, there's vapes, there's rubs, there's soaks. The list goes on, and as a matter of fact, it's too numerous for me to mention here. But I'll tell you what you do. If you stop in at the Wellness Park Pharmacy, 86th and Buffalo Avenue, see Bob there, tell him you want to look in the green room. What's the green room? Well, it's a room dedicated to all CBD products. And Bob is a registered pharmacist, so he can explain to you how CBD works and what dosage is right for you. Now, you could buy CBDs in other places, but you really want to go to a registered pharmacist. You're going to be surprised and amazed, and you know what? You're going to love this product. CBD. Stop in Wellness Park, 86th and Buffalo Avenue, or call 260-1918. Oh, incidentally, if you have an animal that's suffering too, maybe joint pain or anxiety, CBD products works well for them, and there's some made especially for your animals. You can check that out too in the Wellness Park Green Room.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing at your local Cub Cadet dealer today.
Stop by your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer, Niagara Lawn and Garden Equipment, today.
Time to stock up on your warm weather favorites for summertime entertaining, gift giving, and enjoying. Supermarket Liquors and Wines is your headquarters for all the liquors and wines you'll need throughout the season. And you know what? They're open 7 days a week for your convenience, late night Friday, Saturday, and always plenty of cashiers on hand to speed you on your way. You want to find out what their specials are every week? Just check them out online, supermarketliquor.com. They're Niagara's largest liquor store, which means their prices and selection are the best you're going to find. Supermarket Liquors and Wines, Niagara Falls Boulevard, Military Road, just across from the Fashion Outlet Mall. Supermarket Liquors and Wines, where you'll always find plenty of brightly lit free parking in front of the store. And plenty of cashiers on hand to speed you on your way. Supermarket Liquors and Wines. You know, I keep hearing you cut me off. You come a big deal.
Yes, let him finish his sentence.
My wife does that to me all the time.
Look, I took my dose of CBD oil. I went and bought a new lawnmower at Niagara Implement, and I got a bottle of wine chilling in the cooler. Is anything now? Can I finish my sentence?
Go ahead.
Okay.
And you got your stove fixed too,
Yeah,
right?
I got my stove fixed at the same time for $35. He comes out for $35 plus the cost of parts. I love that guy.
Let me ask you a question about that guy. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now, because I've been listening to this, and every time I hear it, I shake my head. Now, you want to remember Chris Moore's number. You want it handy when you need it, right? So how do you do that?
With your phone.
What do you do?
Put it in the phone.
Put it in your phone. That's
in your
right.
phone.
I keep hearing these people get a sticky note, stick it on your refrigerator.
I put it on my broken refrigerator and then I threw it away.
That's right. And it got stuck, and then you had to call them.
It fell off and went underneath and got caught in the
That's right.
fan.
The fan sucked it through. My dog ate it.
All right. So now I got to ask you a question. We're going to get back to the mayoral thing.
Okay, the
all right?
future-
You finish the sentence, then I'm going to ask you a
future
question.
of Niagara Falls does
Yes.
not involve studies. It does not involve any more studies. It does not involve any more low-income housing. It involves one thing, making the city safer so that the taxpayers and the investors feel that their investment is protected and that the streets are safe to walk. The restaurants and the businesses aren't going to come here if they
Right.
feel they cannot get a customer base. The customer base is not going to come out if they feel the minute they walk out, they're going to get mugged.
True.
We need to stop this low-income development,
I
just
hate
like
it.
Buffalo
Yes.
did. We have to
Hate
make
it,
the
hate it,
streets
hate it.
safer. We have to have services that are available for the citizens and the businesses of Niagara Falls. And the only way to do that, I was saddened, I was happy about the 10 million, but saddened. I was hoping for maybe 50 or 60 million. He was going to come in and announce a project. And we need the additional police officers to increase the quality of life and to train our force for the future. It isn't about adding. I believe that those officers, their costs could be covered by reducing the overtime. I believe the same thing could happen in the fire department. I still can't believe that we cannot offer an ambulance service that even if it breaks even, but we train these people for the future of the city of Niagara Falls because they're first responders anyways. And most people that tell you they're going to go broke are the people that represent the actual ambulance services.
All right, so now, here's my question, and I want a specific answer.
Yeah.
Because you said you were not going to give whoever's the mayor, you're not going to give them a honeymoon period.
No.
Because they don't need it.
No honeymoon. They don't need a honeymoon period even though they're running. Okay, they're talking about nonsensical issues.
So specifically.
One
thing. What's the very first thing
quality of life issues.
But
Either one of
specifically
these
what?
candidates that got a chance
that goes in? No, the mayor says.
They should be talking during their campaign because neither one of these things are going to offend any taxpayers, any police officers, any fire department. None of them should be offended, and none of them should not vote for them.
No, but-
by talking about increasing
All
the
right,
police
but
force.
after whoever
cutting it.
becomes mayor,
Yes.
let's just say it's who you voted
Address the
for,
issues.
or let's just say it's who you didn't
Address
vote for.
the issues.
What is the
Take-
first issue you want them to deal with?
Quality
The
of life.
police?
Quality of life, the police. The police.
So that
Quality
if
of
you
life are a
hear
lot of
that-
issues. She's saying pick one issue.
Pick one.
Right, but the biggest.
The reason I'm saying
the
is
biggest
because-
issue is take some of this. All right, I'm going to give you three important issues. One, if we're going to have future development, we have to utilize any of this casino money or excess funds that are coming in, not for studies, but for brick and mortar development that are
If we
taxed.
get the casino money.
Well, even if it is in a casino, even if it is money that the governor comes in or the state comes in with, or Ange can scrounge up another 10 million for something or
But
something.
they're going to tell you
Right.
can't use it for anything
No,
but.
no. I'm talking no more studies. I'm talking brick and mortar. What is wrong with the idea that we had when the casino money first came in? Let's take a couple $1 million and let's put out $100,000 grants out of that and open 20 new businesses in the city of Niagara Falls, okay, with $2 million of our 20 million that we got, and let's open them up. And we were going to tie it in with community, and we were going to tie it in with NU.
But you got a big fat no.
I got a big fat pound salt. Okay, and at one point we thought we were close when we were going to do it all along the walkway.
So I'm going to answer my own question
Yeah.
because it'll piggyback on what you just said. Whoever becomes the next mayor,
Yes.
I'm going to say this as to when they give their first speech after becoming mayor.
Yeah.
This is what I want to hear from them. And then I'll know that's the guy. I'm glad he's in that seat. I want him to say from the get-go, okay, that we are not going to turn away people who have legitimate
Right.
development ideas. We're not going to take forever to make those development ideas come to fruition, but we have set up an office, a person, 2 people, I don't care. You, Joe Schmo, you're coming in from Iowa, you got a great idea to develop in Niagara Falls, come on down. Here's who you're going to talk to. We're going to make it happen.
Right, and
We're
let's-
not going to be like past administrations.
And let's eliminate the people from the past
Period.
administrations that
Period.
have stopped this city from development. And let's eliminate,
Yes.
and let's take some of this money, whether it's our future casino money, and dedicate it to small business, because the small business is going to bring these people in. If you're thinking about bringing these NU kids in, we need small businesses. We need people that are willing to invest their own money and make that business
Right.
taxable. Okay.
Well, we gotta
also
work with them.
Yeah,
Right,
and
we
pay,
also
and
have
pay
to do-
taxes, what you just said.
Yes.
But we
Pay
got to work
taxes.
with them.
Yes,
we can't
we
fight
have to
like we
work with
fight
them.
with
Okay,
DiCenzo.
look,
We
Sal
fight with
Panessa,
him. It's
you want to
ridiculous.
open a nice little TV station or something like this. Okay, Sal, look, I got $100,000 in grant money. You're going to have to be trained, and you're going to have to present to me a business plan
Right.
that is feasible. We're going to go to community or NU. We're going to have the business students work on the plan with you for free, which they do
Right.
all times, because my
Yes.
son did it. He's in marketing. He got his degree in marketing from
Yes.
NU, and they did all these projects for people in Lewiston and everywhere else. Nobody in Niagara Falls did they do any projects.
Of course not.
So we're going to work with it. We're going to come up with a feasible plan, and we're going to start you out. And you're going to show that you're going to have 2 or 3 employees, and we're going to get you going. Now, I'm fully aware as a city government, and I'm fully aware as the mayor, that out of these 20 new businesses that we're going to start this year, that 10 of them are going to fail.
Some won't.
But guess what?
Right.
10 of them are going to fail in the first 2 years, but I got 10 new businesses.
Right.
Next year, I'm going to do the same thing. Now I got 20 new businesses. Okay?
But that's
but
what-
now to
that's what I
protect
wanna
these
hear.
businesses, they need customers. So to protect the customers for these people, which are our aging population in Niagara Falls, and to attract new people, they have to know they're safe. Okay? I love the City of Niagara Falls Police Department when we do our concerts and stuff. We've got we got 2 police officers at our concert. Okay, they're throwing a football around with the kids at the park, talking to the kids at the
Nice.
park, so they're not causing grief for the elderly people that come to our concerts and the
Mm-hmm.
older people. And they're walking around the park, they're patrolling it. I love when I see them out at tops and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the future of Niagara Falls. You know, we have to go back in a way, and people are going to say that you don't police like that, but they're full of shit. The officer on the street is the one that makes the difference in the neighborhood and in the business. Okay, that's the one that makes these people feel safe. That's the one that knows when they're going to the Como for dinner at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and that officer's just wandering down the street waving to them and saying hi. And that's what keeps the kids out of trouble, because the kids know that these officers are approachable. They're not pieces of shit. They're going to arrest them. They're there to talk to them. I love that they're talking to the kids. They're shooting the shit with these kids. And we got some pretty rough kids in our neighborhood, okay? But the officers make a connection with these people. And who knows? That kid, that may make enough of a difference in his life that he's the next police officer. You know, and we have it. And we've got the school district working hard. Our school district is working hard with every dollar that they've got to try and change this city. But without the administration thinking for the future, without these neighborhoods becoming safer, without these politicians stopping the bullshit and telling me they're going to pave more roads, they can kiss my ass. You make it safer than I can walk out on that road. Okay, you do what you have to do to prepare the future. The future is, if we're going to have more development, we need more police officers, better.
To be fair with the politicians, we haven't heard from all of them yet.
No.
We haven't heard all their plans yet.
Okay.
We've heard.
Sal?
Well, we're
gonna,
not saying,
As a
saying
former
that,
police officer in the city of Niagara Falls, okay, as a former police officer, if I was running for mayor, okay, and I said, Sal, one of my things I'm going to do is, I know the quality of life in the city sucks. I want to put an additional 10 officers on, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut the overtime. I'm going to use the experience of the older officers to train it, because look, guys, here's the thing. In 10 years, you guys aren't going to be here. I need you to give me a police force for the future. I need to connect with the
I
community.
love the idea.
Good idea, right?
I love the idea.
Oh, would you as a police officer be offended? No.
Hell no.
Hell no. Same thing if I went to the fire department, because they reach out to everybody also. Okay, we need this. Look, I need you guys you're not going to make any more money doing ambulance.
But you know what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
though,
I don't hear that
But
from these
wait,
people.
what I'm hearing from the politicians, when you go door to door, what are you hearing? I want my roads paved. I want my trees cut. I want my roads plowed.
Jesus.
That's what they say. Nobody.
Stop.
Do you know where
But that's
at?
what they're saying.
But
Stop
do you know where
it with
that's at?
that
No, no.
crap.
Do you know where that's at? That's in DeVoe. That's in Cayuga Island. I need my trees
Jeez.
cut. You know why? Because they don't have a problem with crime on the good side of DeVoe. They don't have a problem with crime.
That's the
in
worst
Cayuga
problem you
Island.
have,
Do you
is
know what
getting
the
a tree
problem is?
cut.
The problem
You're
is the
lucky.
fact, first off, we refer to everything between the state park, okay, and the good side of the thruway, the other side of LaSalle. We refer to that as an inner city. That's bullshit. We got 42,000 or 43,000 people. We don't have an inner city. We have a community. There's no inner city. It's a community. We don't have enough people in this to have an inner city.
I know.
It's bullshit. Let's start addressing the real life problems.
And what you say is true. Everybody's thinking about moving out.
Yeah.
Everybody's going.
Everybody. I'm trying to convince
These
my
kids,
kids
all
to
these kids I talk to,
do something in the city.
The only people I talk to that want to stay in the city are people that work here that have to. Yeah. Oh, I'd move out tomorrow, but I have to stay here because I work here.
What do I hear? I hear it from everybody. I'd be gone in a minute, but my fucking house isn't worth anything. I can't get enough money to pay attention. Why don't you? And then the worst part about it is the ones that can move out, they don't even stay in the county. They move to Erie County. You know, they move Grand Island. They're moving to Grand Island.
Yeah, well,
Jesus
sure.
Christ! At least give the county the tax dollars since we're paying for it. You were a school teacher at the school for 40 years. I'm paying you $100,000 a year pension. Keep it in the county. Town of Niagara is beautiful. Town of Niagara is beautiful. Look, all you got to do is cross that big military road. Don't get run over. They'll put more traffic signals in, I promise you. The other side of that road is perfectly safe. Sal Panessa's there. Just go talk to him at Tim Hortons. It's safe on the other side.
That's where he can be found.
This is bullshit. Start addressing the real issues. You don't have to offend the voters. If the major voters are the school district, the police department, and the fire department, talk sense.
All the politicians are still welcome on the show. Contact me. We'll let you go right through the. We'll give you an hour at least once a month, maybe more if you need it. Right up to
What's
election.
happening with Mr. Elder?
I haven't heard a thing.
I got a postcard.
Yeah, well, he's running apparently.
I'll find it. Talk amongst yourselves.
We're coming right back.
Time to stock up on your warm weather favorites for summertime entertaining, gift giving, and enjoying. Supermarket Liquors and Wines is your headquarters for all the liquors and wines you'll need throughout the season. And you know what? They're open 7 days a week for your convenience, late night Friday, Saturday, and always plenty of cashiers on hand to speed you on your way. You want to find out what their specials are every week? Just check them out online, supermarketliquor.com. They're Niagara's largest liquor store, which means their prices and selection are the best you're going to find. Supermarket Liquors and Wines, Niagara Falls Boulevard, Military Road, just across from the Fashion Outlet Mall. Supermarket Liquors and Wines, where you'll always find plenty of brightly lit free parking in front of the store. And plenty of cashiers on hand to speed you on your way. Supermarket Liquors and Wines. I'm waiting to hear from the different candidates who said, I'm going to contact you after the primary, and I'm going to come on the show. Jeffrey Elder was one of them. I'm going to contact you.
I was not home when he visited, but he did leave a card.
But he did, hold on.
He did?
He did say, I will contact you and come on the show.
Okay.
I'm expecting people to do what they say they're going to do. And if they don't, then I don't have much use for anybody.
No, it's bullshit. And one more thing about the governor, okay? And I want to say this, too, for the city of Niagara Falls. The future of the city of Niagara Falls lies in, like I was talking, public safety, okay, and in jobs. There's no reason that governor couldn't announce that the Amazon Packaging Center or the Google things, that since they're going to use the Niagara Falls Airport, and that's why they're building here because of our asset, which we no longer have, our airport, okay, at least put the procurement centers in the city of Niagara Falls. Do you know, Governor, I just want to tell you this, and Ange, I love you, buddy, but an extra $500 or 500 jobs in the city of Niagara Falls will make the difference of the future of the city of Niagara Falls.
But they tried, I think, didn't they?
No, they didn't try, because here, if they're using all they had to do is because those facilities that are going to be built on Grand Island and on River Road are going to use the main asset, which is the Niagara Falls International Airport. Wow. So I believe there's going to be a lot of either government money, I heard that, or taxpayer dollars. So all they had to do was insist that it comes here. Okay, they didn't have to have it there, or pound salt, go use a different airport. Go to Buffalo, see if you can get in.
No, we're too busy putting parks.
So what does Mr. Elder say in his
card? All right,
card?
Mr. Elder, just to say, I'm paraphrasing a couple things. He's going to be putting up his signs for mayor on September 5th, so that'll be coming up. And he says he'll be forever grateful for my support. Never forget who helped me become the next mayor of Niagara Falls. Look to the bottom line for my name on the dynamic new future line.
Wow.
Okay? So if you have any questions, he's got an email, website, jeffreyelderformayor.com.
Wait a minute.
So the dynamic new future line.
What was the name of the guy that wasn't he running for president or something? He had a new line, something vote for me. Remember that? Remember the guy? He was running for governor or something.
Why? What was it?
He had some crazy line.
Well, this is his name,
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
there's gonna- like
the
a new line. A new line. What's that?
dynamic new future line.
Yeah, instead of independent, progressive.
It's the dynamic new future, which I'm all for that. But we want to know what your ideas are, Mr. Elder. And can I say one thing? Because we know politicians watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
Any politicians right now that have watched this show and things we've said in the past hour and kind of shake their head when we say this is what we'd like you guys to do, and if they're sitting at home at their dinner table going, you just can't do that, they don't understand, then you shouldn't be mayor.
Wow.
Okay? You shouldn't be mayor.
It's so easy to say, I can't
We're
do
not
that.
idiots.
I can't use the money for that. I can't get the support
Yes,
for that.
I don't wanna hear
That's the easy
that.
thing. Don't tell me that. Tell me how you're going to do it. How are you going to prepare the city of Niagara Falls for the future? Because we are not the future, okay? We're too old to be the future. And the future is leaving by bus, train, plane, anything they can to get out of Niagara Falls. You show me how you're going to keep these kids here. You show me how you're going to make the city safer. And you show me how you're going to educate and provide jobs and taxable
And
income coming in and development. Not bullshit development, because all you're making is bigger slums.
Development. That's it. Sorry. I think you should run for mayor.
And I don't hear any of this from anyone.
Wait, he should.
I think you should run for mayor.
Yeah, maybe he should have.
Maybe I should start a dynamic That's it. I got it. I got to call my lawyer. Maybe he can hook me up with a new line.
I'm sure we can put a new line on the ballot.
I'm sure we can put a third line. It'd be
No
like
bullshit
Henry
line.
Wisconsin.
I listened to
no
these-
bullshit line.
I listen to these guys who are all running. When I'm your next councilman, when I'm your next mayor, when I become, why don't they say like,
Yeah, we just presented.
No,
three-
it's the positive thinking.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
have to say
positive
that.
thinking my
They
ass.
have to
How
say
about,
that.
you know
Wait,
what?
We got
No,
three
they
or four
don't. No,
people
they-
running for mayor and council, okay? In the last hour, we've given them more ideas for the future of the city of Niagara Falls, and we've expressed it by not offending anyone.
No.
None of the voters are offended by the things that we brought up. Yet, none of these people have brought this up. You haven't heard it from
Well,
any of them.
let's see who
So
does.
strike a little lightning. Have
Let's see
some
who
balls.
does. Let's
Reach
see who
into your
does.
pocket and tell us what you're going to change.
Let's see who does.
Okay?
Let's see who does.
And give me a safer city, and give me a city with a little bit of development so my kids aren't talking about, I'm moving to North Carolina, I'm moving to Florida, I'm doing this.
And all the
because
tourists
we're
that
getting
come
older
here-
and it's getting harder and harder to
Yes.
hold the city together.
And the thing is, with all the tourists that come here, once
No, and
again,
you know what?
they have all the money in
I've
their
noticed 'cause
pocket and no place to
my
spend
son's
it.
working down at the park this summer, and actually the last month or so has been very busy. I'm taking him to the park at 9 o'clock to go to work, quarter to 9 before I go to coffee, and the downtown's actually got people walking.
They're very busy downtown.
Yes.
Yes.
So
But
you know what?
they want to spend their money.
Expand this. Look, if these guys in this glass cube of a building can get all these people to stay here and do this and
Right.
buy this, why can't we extend it? Well, wait. I'm sorry. That's the inner city. We don't extend development to the inner city.
Told you what to do with these
Community,
little-
not inner city.
I'm gonna
Try
give you-
community, asshole.
That could be the line you'll run on.
I'll run out.
Community asshole
Yeah,
line.
community asshole line. Look, we don't have an inner city. We have a community, you asshole. It's an inner city. You need more than 42,000 people, including dogs and
I
stray
think
cats.
it'll be easy just to put
Yeah,
his name on that.
That's it. Just write my
I
name
know.
in. And wait, you don't even have to just put my name in.
I know the
Probably get
politicians.
more votes than when I ran.
I know the politicians watch, and I know.
You think anybody will see this? Nah.
And in fact, I
Yes.
know some that have people that are told to watch the show for them.
Yeah,
And now
yes.
I know they're just dying to come on, and I'll give you the address and phone number if you get a hold of us if you'd
We
like
promise not to ask you softball questions.
Yeah, and if they think we throw softball questions, let me interview the three candidates.
to. Oh, gee.
Please let me interview the three candidates.
At the Wellness Park Pharmacy at 86th and Buffalo Avenue, and the Community Medical Pharmacy on Michigan Avenue just off Main Street, you're not just another customer, and your needs are important. To them, you're a somebody.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Now under new ownership, both pharmacies will see to it that you get the personal service that you deserve. Want to give them a try? Then call right now, 260-1918, and tell them you want to switch your prescriptions over to the Wellness Park Pharmacy or Community Pharmacy in Niagara Falls. They'll make all the phone calls to make it happen. And both pharmacies offer free home prescription delivery. And when you have them on the phone, be sure to ask about their wide selection of CBD products. Available in creams, oils, gummies, and much, much more. Get all the details today by calling 260-1918. The Wellness Park Pharmacy at 86 and Buffalo Avenue and the Community Medical Pharmacy on Michigan Avenue just off Main. Call 260-1918.
Where everybody knows your name. Everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. Where everybody...
They got some great stuff over there, and they're good people to do business with. Okay, if you want to be on the show, if you're a politician, or you have something you'd like to say, you contact us at NBN, Niagara Broadcast Network, 7900 at gmail.com, or call our office at 283-8207. That's it. We'll set you up. We'll get you on the show. Every politician is welcome at
Absolutely.
this point. Everyone.
Why do you keep saying that at this point?
Because
Why? Why do you say that?
Because I think
Be honest. Why do you say that?
Because I think they're starting to piss me off by some of the stuff I hear coming back, but not directly from them.
Okay.
From,
Okay.
well, this person said that, this person said, you know what? I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But I'll let them
I
come
hear
on
that
if they
every
want.
day. You
No,
think it
but I
bothers me?
just,
No, I know.
no, it don't bother me. It just, I'm not kissing nobody's ass to come on.
No, they don't have to.
Come
You know
on.
what? Don't come on. You know, but at least, you know, if you are going to come on with some concrete ideas. Don't give us, we're going to let you, once you elect me, I'm going to let you know.
No, I don't want to hear once I elect you.
Once you're elected, and all these people with that excuse.
And I do
Look,
not want to
Once
hear-
I'm elected,
Yeah.
then I'll tell you my grand plan.
No.
Bullshit.
No, you want to lose a vote of mine, and I've said it many times over, and I'll say it again. Please don't use the line. It took a long time for this city to get in the condition it's in.
No, and
it's
that's
going to take a
crazy.
long time
You know
to
what?
get it
And
out
Joe's
of this
saying,
condition. I don't want to hear it.
it's a long-term
I
plan.
don't wanna hear it.
Long-term plan. The place has been abandoned for 30 years. How much longer are we going to do
Told you,
it?
they took the armpit of the Northeast.
Like you said,
Buffalo
they
and
got to
turned
jump
it around
in
5
running now.
years.
They got to jump in running.
Yeah.
January 1st, what are you going to do? How you
Everything
gonna do it?
in here that talks about, and not in the Gazette, but in the Buffalo, that talks about that $10 million and where it's going to spend, none of it is brick and mortars. They're talking about putting maybe a couple of $1 million in a building that doesn't need it.
No,
because
no,
that's
I
the
don't want-
reason.
that's
They're talking
piddly
about a
crap
study
shit.
being written here. And
No,
like you said,
no.
here's the kicker. The reason those buildings were chosen, because these people don't develop. They don't know how to develop. They don't build anything.
No, I'm not a developer, but gosh darn it, I know that enough of this shit.
You know what?
With
Okay,
the
we've done this
study.
from the
I
beginning.
like
Can't stand
the idea that we're getting 10 million. I like the idea that they're trying, but let's put it all together. You know, I got to say hi to Barb Barone, visiting from Massachusetts.
Okay.
And I met Barb, her husband, little girl, and their little dog Bella. And where did I see him? At the shrine in Lewiston.
Fatima Shrine?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they said, well, we went to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And we're visiting the shrine. They drove.
Absolutely.
They didn't take the trolley.
Yeah.
They drove to the shrine. I said,
But
"What-
now here's my question.
what'd you do? What'd you do in the falls?
Yeah, what'd they say?
We saw the falls.
That's right. And?
And then we came to the shrine.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I talked to somebody else. What'd you do in the falls? Another visitor.
Yeah.
We went on the Maid of the Mist.
Yeah.
And then what? I don't know. We're going somewhere else because there's nothing to do
nothing.
here.
There's nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
I hate to hear
Year
it.
after year after year
After
after
year
year
after
after
year.
year.
And
But
here-
my
here-
question, here's my quick question though. What were you doing at the shrine? Did the statues shake?
No.
When you walked in there?
Putting
I
your
go
hands
to the
back down.
shrine.
Do you?
I mean, a lot of times.
Well, that's
Go for a little
lovely.
special dispensation.
Oh, is it?
Really?
That's
you think
right.
It's going to help?
No,
Does the priest go like this?
listen.
And give you the holy water? Is that what he does?
No, I don't want the priest to do anything
Anything.
to me. I don't want,
Okay,
I want,
that's the
no, I
wrong
want nothing to do with the priest. I go to talk to the man upstairs.
Okay.
That's right.
Or or-
Believe me, I love Fatima Shrine. I go there many times.
When I
during
talked to
year.
the man
Love it.
upstairs, I said, "Look, I'm not asking to go to heaven. I know I'm going to hell. I'm just hoping for a little better seat.
Well, yeah, no, there's
I
certain
want to
parts
be in
of
the
heaven.
bleachers so I can
There's-
yell at that. Yeah, you
There's
thought you
certain
were gonna-
parts
I
of
was-
heaven. There's the quiet part, and then there's the rowdy part.
Did you see that they've got hundreds and more that put claims in because they opened up the window for people that were abused?
Yes, yes.
They got hundreds and more.
Very sad.
Very sad. And
Troubling, sad, disgusting, disturbing. I can use every word imaginable
And
on this.
you know what's worse?
Shame on
one
the
of the worst
Catholic
parts
Church.
was that the Catholic Church was moving these people around. They knew they had the problem,
Absolutely.
and instead of ending it, they moved him to a different parish. They moved him here, knowing he was a predator. You know, and that
If
is-
you get a chance and haven't seen it, it was a movie that was out a few years back, but it won Oscar for the best picture that year. It's called Spotlight. If you haven't seen it, see it. It has to do, it's a true story, has to do with the Catholic Church and the this whole thing in the Boston diocese. But you could kind of transplant it. What, Buffalo has had how many?
80,
and on we
80,
go.
Yeah, like 80 in just the Buffalo diocese. Now that's crazy. I didn't think we had 80 priests in the Buffalo.
I mean, how do you move
they get a
people
couple, I
around?
guess, one from Grand Island, I think,
Yeah.
or someone they just
awful.
suspended. They're not convicted. They're
Right,
not. They're
right,
just
right.
accused,
Right.
and they're investigating.
And they're investigating, yes.
And
But the massive cover-up that this was is so disturbing, so disturbing.
Yeah, you know,
So,
if they
you
wouldn't
know.
have discovered everything that they did, how bad of a cover-up it was.
Right.
I mean, you know, everything that is done, there's always bad people in different groups, and
Oh,
different people
yes,
take advantage.
absolutely.
But they just covered everything up. I mean,
But any other person that wasn't a priest that would have done something like this,
Yeah.
your ass is in jail.
unbelievable.
Okay, so there you go.
Unbelievable.
But anyways.
I hope it doesn't put a damper on the whole Catholic religion, because there's a lot of good
No.
people and a lot of good
There are,
priests.
There are. And if you haven't gone to Fatima in a long time,
You know what?
go
It
down
may
there,
end up
it's fabulous.
modernizing the Catholic
Fabulous.
religion. There may be some changes coming out of this that allow the Catholic diocese and the Catholic religion to actually thrive.
Well, you got to purge all the crappy people.
Right.
And that includes the crappy priests.
Yep.
Okay? And get some people in
But
there
again,
that-
let's
that
not
are,
let's
you
not
know.
just because they're accused.
Does not mean they're convicted.
And they put their names out. I don't think they should, just because they're accused, you know.
Yeah, but
you-
don't
you-
they do
you
that?
could
Like,
accuse-
what's his name? Collins.
Yeah.
He's accused of whatever he's done, but he's not
Not convicted.
convicted.
But you could accuse
And who's
anybody of
running for his-
anything.
Going back
Well,
to politics,
that is
man,
a problem.
who's running for his seat now?
Grand Island, Nate
McMurray.
And Ort.
And Ort is going after his seat now.
Yeah.
After
Everybody
his seat.
wants to push him out.
Well, Ort is a Republican, so he's trying to push him out, as is, I think, is McMurray a Republican too? I
No,
believe?
Dem.
Democrat?
Dem.
Okay, so they're trying to push him out of his seat. Ort wants to keep it for the Republican Party.
And is Collins going to run again?
Collins, as far as we know, he's transferred money into his account, but it's his own personal money, you know, so
Right.
you don't, he can transfer it in, I guess he could transfer it out, and he hasn't really made a decision as to what he's doing. I guess.
Politics are an ugly business.
Yeah, but you know what?
Dirty business.
Here's the ugliest thing too. Like with Collins, was I never knew that if you're a politician and let's say I'm in Albany and I'm serving and
Mm-hmm.
I hear something that is disturbing that's going to cost me or my family a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden I pick the phone up like drop that stock now.
Yeah.
And I was on my way to or from the workplace, which is Albany, or on my way back to my house. I can't be charged with a crime. That's why they dropped those charges, some of those charges, because they didn't want to taint the case. Because they supposedly got him on other things. Supposedly, again, he's been accused.
Alleged.
Alleged, yes.
They allege that they have him on other things, and supposedly the prosecution dropped those charges.
And a lot of people that are supposed to know about things are not saying.
I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning. I see nothing. I hear nothing. I see nothing.
That's not going to work this year in the election. It's not going to work.
This year's going to be a turning point. I mean, this year's
Major.
it's a major turning point.
We're either going to go way up or way down. We're
Yeah.
not going to stay in the middle.
No, and you know what? As far as like as a nation and everything, we've got serious problems because I mean
The world is screwy.
You know what? We've got a president that enables the population that has problems to justify doing things that they never would have thought of. Okay, because he justifies it, and that is a president.
Who are we talking about?
In a way, we're talking about Trump.
No, I know, but who are these people?
Like the people that are these mass shootings and stuff. These are a lot of people that have mental problems and
Yes,
stuff
they do.
like that. And what happened is we've got a president that is making them feel like their right is to do these things that they're doing, by his words.
They're what?
Well, I'm
Say this
missing
again.
the boat on
Say
this
this
one.
again, what you're just saying.
What I'm saying is because of his tweets, these people feel emboldened.
Yeah, but whoa.
Oh, man.
The
what-
one that shot up Dayton.
Oh, yeah, no,
Was a
no,
Trump
that
hater.
was different. That was different.
Oh,
That was a
yeah,
drug deal.
okay.
That was a drug
He was
deal.
a Trump hater.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, the one that went and killed his sister, the boyfriend.
Yeah,
boop,
that
boop,
was
boop,
weird.
boop.
That was-
He was a Trump hater. He did this. So you know what? If you're wackadoo, you're
It
wackadoo.
is.
No amount of tweets
Right.
from somebody is going to make you wacky.
I'm waiting
not
to hear,
buying that.
I'm
They're
waiting to
gun
hear.
laws, right?
I'm waiting to
Well, yes,
hear
that I agree.
from
They're
the
gun
Niagara
laws.
County Mental Health Department. They were supposed to get in touch with me. They did call once. I haven't been able to lock down a date, but they're going to come and explain what to look for, what to listen for, when to call and who to call,
Right.
when you need to call.
Because
And-
apparently in these cases, they always
you know
say
what? No,
they
there's
had
a
seen
lot of-
something before.
Look about the shooter that killed his parents and stuff like that. And they were talking to the neighbors that ever since we've been taking him to the gun range, he's been so much better. And then they found the parents dead. This was like in Louisiana or something. And wait a minute, now they find the parents dead in the house, and the
Yeah,
guy went out and
yeah.
killed like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I'm having arguments with parents that are letting their kids play these killer games. Oh, this is Mortal Kombat. This
Oh, but
is
they'll
this. We're
tell you
killing.
studies have shown that
Yeah,
doesn't
but you know
affect
what?
anything.
Do you know why I
See,
disagree? I disagree. You know why I disagree with the studies? When we were growing up, we had the Three Stooges and different.
Right,
Yes,
right.
people got whacked, people did this, but they didn't get killed.
Right,
And secondly,
right.
the difference is the level of violence.
Right.
Those studies back then, it wasn't violence against people that are in respected positions, police
Mm-hmm,
officers and government officials and stuff. These games show these people going after killing the police officers
It's
and
awful,
stuff. That's
yes.
You
that
don't
is something
think
that's not
you don't
good.
think the Three Stooges are violent?
No.
You don't
They
think
were funny violent.
Niagara Falls.
Oh no!
Slowly I turned, and step by step,
that's right? They're not
inch
violent.
by inch, I walked up to him and I
Yeah, they didn't do
You
it.
smacked him, and you blew his eyes.
I turned the faces and I
Yeah, that's
knocked them
right,
down.
Oh, that's right. They weren't
They
violent.
weren't violent.
Look,
No,
I
they-
grew up watching
Yeah, but let me
them.
tell you, he got back up.
He did. That's right. He
And
did.
every week he got back.
Because they didn't have guns back then.
That's
They were
right.
shot. How about if he
That
would have
made
shot
the
him?
Well, if he'd have shot him, he
Made the
wouldn't have been on the
difference.
show next week.
Well, all right. We probably only have a couple minutes left.
We're out of time.
Jim,
We're out
and
of time.
one closing sentence.
We're coming
Go ahead.
back Wednesday.
One closing sentence. Go.
Politicians, think of the future, not Niagara Falls. Don't think about lining your pockets. Think about where we're going as a city and what we need to do to prepare for the next 20 or 30 years.
Okay.
Not to think about where we're at right now. We have to think about the future. We have to keep what taxpayers we have here, and they have to be safe.
Let me hear from you. Want to know how mad you are about the last couple shows?
No.
Oh, God.
Never.
Politicians, we love to hear from you. NBN7900 at gmail.com or 283-8207.